Hey, Insider. I've been reflecting on something very deep this morning. These are my school reports from one of the first years I was here in England. I'm just hiding the name. You never know what they're going to do nowadays when you publicize things like this. But I've been reflecting on how, firstly, I felt in the early years of my life, but reading through these reports in terms of how most of my childhood, teenage years, especially in school, I believed I was very dumb. And it was something that I realized early on in my life in terms of how I never felt like I was smart enough in school. And my teachers were verifying that in every single report I was receiving every year. Tim's too shy, Tim's not working hard enough. And I grew up with this belief that I was very different from these A-class students and so forth. But it's funny because yesterday I just want to share with you the quick story in terms of how it's interesting because over the years I've had so many different success insiders who's come onto the show, likes of Grant Cardone, Evan Carmichael, you've got Patrick Bet-David, T.R. Becker, all of these big names. And one of the things I've always realized Insider is a common pattern in which you can learn. And the reason why I mentioned this is because today for me is a very, very big day because it's one day away now until the launch of my first ever book. And as a result, I've been reflecting so heavy in terms of, firstly, what this means to me. Most of my life, I've never thought I'll ever be able to publish a book because my teachers verified that I wasn't good enough. And yesterday I was speaking because yesterday I was running a one-day workshop up north of England, and the organizer of the event was basically approaching me during break. And he said, "You know what, Tim, it's really interesting." And I said, "What?" And he said, I would give all of my success in terms of everything I've had in terms of my results in property and all of that. I'd give all of my success to my mentors. And he said, because in school, I really wasn't smart. I really wasn't that great. And I just basically graduated thinking, I'm pretty much not that smart. And I resonated so much with him because here I was also graduating thinking I'm not smart enough because I wasn't. And because I knew I was dumb enough to try and create businesses. I was dumb enough to not listen to people who were saying, "Tim, are you crazy? You shouldn't do that." I was dumb enough to study more. I was dumb enough to learn from people ahead of me. And just day before, it's crazy how success always leaves clues. Day before, I was speaking with a guy who runs a $100 million company, okay? He's got a goal of taking it to the $1 billion mark. And it's crazy because himself as well, he was saying how he's really not that smart. All he's ever done in his life is just listen to people who've gone out there, figured it out, and we're just following instructions. And it amazes me today, and this is what I was saying to the guy yesterday, his name's Alex. I said to Alex yesterday, it's amazing how people turn around to me today and say, "Tim, you're very smart, you've been able to do that." But in reality, it's almost like if you've ever got an IKEA furniture, you can either try to guess and build it yourself, or you can follow the instructions and everyone will think you're smart, but essentially you just follow instructions of how you can reach more success. And I was watching a Steve Jobs video earlier on, and Steve Jobs has been a big, big wake-up call for me, of which I talk about in my book in terms of how I got started my journey a decade ago when I was addicted to drugs, when I was working as a toilet cleaner, when I believed legitimately that I'm not going to amount to much because everybody else was telling me. And Steve Jobs in his interview said something very, very interesting that every single guest I've ever had on our show has said, which is in regards to this, Insider, is in regards to how you gotta be insane to be successful because it's hard, it's difficult, and people will try to talk you out of it. And I can't tell you how many times in my life, Insider, which I talk about in the different chapters, when I was trying to work on my confidence, when I was suffering from the relationship issues I was going through because of my social anxiety, people are laughing at me. My friends were saying, "Tim, you're just shy, just remain as that." And then when I was trying to get my business off the ground, people were saying, "Tim, you can't do that." And everyone's saying you can't do something, and yet I was dumb enough not to listen to them. I was dumb enough to continue. I was dumb enough to listen to people ahead of me. I was dumb enough to basically continue. And Steve Jobs said how perseverance is something that people don't have unless they have a true love and a passion. And during lunch yesterday with Alex, this was what I was talking about. I believe wants you align with something greater. Because I tell you, what was really interesting was I said to him, it's fascinating how when people begin in their journey towards success, they want freedom. But what you always find is once they begin to get any form of freedom in their life, they find that they've got a gift and that they've got an impact and a legacy to leave. And there are two types of people. The first type who seek freedom, the second type who's got all the freedom in the world, but they're now addicted to their impact. They're now addicted to the legacy that they want to leave behind. And I was speaking to Alex and he was saying, I work very hard every single day, even though I don't need to. The guy that day before who's running this 9-figure company, I said to him, do you travel often? Do you go on holidays? He said, no, Tim. Every single day I'm putting in work. I said, why? He said, because I want to leave something behind. And I tell you, Insider, every single success Insider I've ever featured, the reason why this happens is because they've discovered the life they're born to live. The message I want to leave you with today, Insider, is when you get clear of the gift that you've got within you, when you get clear of the impact you're meant to leave on this planet, you realize you're not here just for yourself. You realize you're here for a greater cause. And whenever you come across any influencers who's so connected to a mission, you'll feel it. The reason, for example, I got so driven on my journey after having a lot of success online, the reason why I got so driven to contribute and create success inside it is because I realized I want to die as a happy man. And nothing will make me more happier than getting to the end of it all knowing I've made some form of impact. I believe the education system is totally flawed. I believe what they're teaching our children out there is totally flawed. I believe the way the world is being ran right now, teaching the useless subjects is not something that's going to take the world onto that next level. And I believe if somebody doesn't do it, nobody will do it. And this is why every day I work hard. That's why every day I'm showing up. And I just want to say, Insider, thank you for supporting our work. And I know so many of you are part of this book launch already, which is happening on the 4th of October, which is tomorrow. So just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you. It means the world to me because I had so many of you requesting a book. And so 1 year in the making, we are here. The first ever book, Follow Your Heart and Take Action. 7 Secrets to Living the Life You're Truly Born to Live. If this is the first time you're hearing about this Insider, what I'll do is I'll put a link above, or you can go directly to this website. Just type it in, or just remember this, www.successinsider.tv/book. It's officially out tomorrow and it'll be on a special promotion. Let me say that again, www.successinsider.tv/book. Tomorrow is going to be a Kindle promotion over on Amazon. We're collaborating with them to do a big launch, and it's going to be out for only $1.50 to claim yourself a copy. But on top of that, Insider, for supporting us on this big day, you'll be able to get free gifts from me worth $419. And tomorrow evening, there'll also be a private Q&A to get to ask me questions and we get to know each other as well. We are looking for more leaders out there who want to impact the world together with us. I tell you, nothing upsets me more than seeing people with so much potential and yet they just live and die on this planet never having lived. And the reason why this upsets me is because I've been there in my life. And it's just seeing the look on people's faces when they hate their jobs and yet they just continue. It's something that, for some reason, it just really hurts me. And I think somebody needs to make a difference out there. And I know some of you insiders tuning in, you want to impact the world, so let's do it together. I think it has to be a collaborative effort. And our big mission here at Success Insider is to impact the lives of 1 billion people. We've already reached 30 million people by ourselves, but we want to take it onto that whole nother level. We want to inspire the world to follow their heart and take action and live the life they're born to live. And we believe we'll be able to do that by coming together as one. Let's stop being sick and tired of being sick and tired. Let's stop settling. Let's stop just telling ourselves this is how things meant to be. And let's actually step up and let's actually be bold. Let's be dumb enough to be successful. Let's be dumb enough to not listen to people who say no. Let's be dumb enough to keep persevering because this is what you're born to do. And I tell you, when you connect to that, things will begin to shift in your life. Go out there, Insider, and do whatever it takes. And we're all part of this private group right now, Insider, for Follow Your Heart, Take Action. It's a private Facebook group. So once you go onto the events page, which is www.successinsider.tv/book, you'll be able to join our private group. We're all in at the moment. It's crazy. So much reflection happening today. So all I'm going to say is if you've not claimed your spot, just follow the link above. There'll be a card, just click on it and look forward to seeing you on the side. It's crazy. I tell you, when I'm a reflector, I'm not sure about you, I'm an introvert at heart, and when all your life you've been told by people you wouldn't be able to do anything, and you're able to just make something happen. It's only a book, I know, but my teachers would have never thought this will become a reality, trust me. And I'm not coming from a place of, oh, I proved you wrong. I'm just coming from a place of, I wish they would have understood that people are different. And I grew up most of my life different. I remember when I was a child, I'd be always very strange. I'd be taking a notepad over to the highway and I'd be taking number plates of cars passing by. I'd never be that normal kid. And I'm not sure about you inside there. It's amazing how the world tells us to fit in, or I should say the world tells us to stand out, but the moment we begin to stand out, it's amazing how the world wants to pull us back in. And that's why when I began my journey, I said to myself, if I achieve any form of success in my life, I'm going to make it my mission to make people like this who feel different belong, because we're different. We're like a rare breed. And I believe that if we hang around with the 99% of people out there, we'll become the 99%. So stop trying to fit in when you're born to stand out. Go out there, live your dream. And I know you don't need me to say this to you, but sometimes we just need a wake-up call. I believe in you inside there more than you believe in yourself. But I got to have you to step up. Let's do this. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow, 4th of October, Global Online Launch. Thank you.